Hey, welcome back to Design with Miyoshi. Today we're going to make the first drawing of the first thing we've done. So let's go ahead and open up that first model that we made, and we're going to make a drawing of it. But first, I want to thank Northwest Technical Products for sponsoring this video. If you are part of an educational institution in Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Idaho, or Montana, contact Northwest Technical Products for all your SolidWorks and other technical needs. Thanks, Andrew, and all the crew at Northwest Technical Products. And so let's go ahead and start making our model, our drawing. So we're going to go ahead and open up the model we already made. And we are going to make what's called an orthographic drawing. Orthographic simply means that the top, front, and right views are arranged in a certain way. They are perpendicular to each other, and normally they are going to be the same distance from each other. But it's a little bit harder to do that these days. But we're going to go ahead and make a drawing. Go to File. You can go to File, New, and then make a new drawing, but I kind of like to do it the other way. Since I have the model open, I like to go File and Make Drawing from Part. Okay, so I'll make drawing from part. This guy here says what kind of style do we want. It gives you a little preview here, but I want to make an ANSI landscape. If you forgot to make it the correct dimensioning style, you might have to go uncheck this box, and then you'll see the things that aren't part of the ANSI. You'll see the ISO and the DIN and the other types. But if you did make it ANSI your standard, then you should just see the ANSI standard sheets. Okay, we want to make ours ANSI or ANSI A. A is an 8.5 by 11. B, we want to be the landscape one as well. The B is 11 by 17. C is, what is it, 17 by 36 or something like that. And they get bigger and bigger as we go. Okay, so I'm gonna hit OK. And it's gonna give me the option to drag things from here. I don't like to do it that way. I would much rather come over here and do, let's see if I can find this guy. Standard 3 view, you could do that, or you could just click on model view. So I'm going to click on model view, and it's going to come up with this model view over here, and it's got the document already. So then I'll hit the, where is it? I'll just double click on this. Oh, the next button right here, that little triangle next, or the arrow next. And then I like to do this. I'm going to create multiple views, and the views I want are the top view, the front view, and the right view. Now you can put this isometric or trimetric, in this case, view in there, and it does that automatically for you. You may or may not want that in there, but we're going to go ahead and put those views. Notice that when I did that, it put the views relatively where they're supposed to be. Front view, top view, right view, and here's our perspective view. In this case, it's called the trimetric view. Notice it also puts the name of my model right here. The next thing you want to do, don't just hit the OK yet, because then you'll have to come back and do some things. I'm going to go ahead and click on display style. I want to be wireframe with hidden lines. Yeah, so you can mouse over and you can see there's wireframe, or hidden lines visible. There's hidden lines removed. They're shaded with edges, and then they're just shaded. We're going to go ahead and use the wireframe, or the hidden lines visible. We're going to use the sheet scale, and for the most of the time, and then we'll leave the rest of them the way they are. Then I get the checkbox, or the check here, and then you'll see that all my views come in, and they're beautiful. Now, when I move things around, I can grab this. Notice that there's little arrows in a cross configuration. If you click on that now, if you click and drag, you can move the views around. Notice that my right and my top view move with the front view. If I click on the top view, only the top view moves. Notice that I can't move it left and right. As you can see, my mouse moving left and right, but it only will move up and down. Same thing with the right view. If I click on it, I can't move up and down, but I can only move left and right. Okay, I can move the perspective view anywhere I want. And I'll do something, maybe like that. Or I can even get rid of it if I don't like it there or if it's taking up too much room. Okay, so I'll move this down just a touch. Okay, there are only 3 dimensions we need. And the nice thing about it is you can just do the dimensioning right away. So I'll click on annotation and I'll click on model items. Model items will bring in things nicely. Instead of source, I'll do, instead of selected feature, I'll do entire model. And then I will do import items into all views. And then the rest of it should be just fine for the most part. Okay, I'll hit the check and voila, there are all my dimensions nice and beautiful. And if I needed to, I can move them around. In the ANSI standards, what you would want to make sure you do is that the first dimension is 3/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, sorry, 3/8 of an inch from the object line to the dimension line. At least it could be longer. If there are more dimensions beyond that, they would want to be at least 1/4 of an inch beyond each one of the last ones. You also want to make sure that this outside edge and your dimension line aren't 3/8 of an inch too close to each other either, okay? Anyway, then we want to go ahead and put our date and all that kind of good stuff. And the way you do that, it looks like you can just go ahead and click over here and just do stuff, but you can't. What you have to do is you right click on sheet 1 and you do edit sheet format. And that brings you to a place, it looks like your drawing went away, but it makes it so you don't really change anything there. And all we're gonna do, I'm gonna use my wheel on my mouse to zoom in. I'm zooming in instead of zooming out. And I'll just double click on here. Normally what we would do in my classroom, I have students put in their first initial and their last name. And I'm just gonna put in my last name here. Usually it's all caps as well. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for my date. I'll double click in there. Notice it, oops. Then once it gets there, today is the 8th, oopsie, sorry, 8th month, the 3rd day, and the year 2020. Okay, so then I'm gonna put over here, I'm just gonna do the same thing. Notice that there's a little A shows up when I have something I can edit. You can always put in something new by putting in a note or that kind of thing, but I don't need to do that because these things are already here. I'm gonna go ahead and double click here once that A shows up, and I'm just gonna put something Miyoshi design, okay? You could put whatever you want in there, something appropriate if you're in my class, something appropriate if you're working for a company as well, but you wanna put that in there. Same thing goes with the title. I can move this mouse until it sees the A. Oh, look, it's big. So I can go ahead and double click in here and I could put the title again. And I could put in what it really is, or I could put in the drawing number like I have done many times in the past. Okay, once we're done there, I can click anywhere and then I right click on sheet 1 and go back to edit sheet. And then now my drawing is back. Everything is hunky-dory and I can go ahead and save this guy up. So I'm gonna save this up and I will just call it I'll just let it choose what it's called it, and it's 537 drawing. I'll save that guy up. And by the way, especially if you're on a computer that maybe crashes a bunch or you don't know if your power is good, save lots. After you do something really cool, save often. I've had students often, even myself, where I forget to save and I mess up and you lose stuff. All right, so there we have it. There's our drawing. And Now it's all beautiful and ready to go. I could print it out or take a screenshot if I need to send it somewhere, and I'm done. Okay, so thanks for tuning in for Design with Miyoshi, and we'll see you next time.